Hi fellas, Ryan here, coming at you with another new video of a new vehicle, new to me I guess I should say, gmade sawback. I bought this used about a month ago I guess, and have driven it in and around the basement, haven't had it outside. I'm going to take it out today, out to the test track, and just see what it can do. But basically I thought I'd do a quick little intro video, have a check it out. There are some modifications that I've done. Some were done by the guy that I bought it from, so I'm going to run through some things here, and then I'm going to go and beat it up in the snow a little bit. So first things, if you guys have seen my other videos, you know that I don't really like shiny chrome stuff. So had this been purchased new as a kit, I would have painted the frame. As it sits, I don't really feel like taking it apart to paint it, but we'll see. I might change my mind if I get a big cold spell and I have nothing else to work on. So what I did do though was paint the front bumper. Scale looks great. I love it. I had an 84 Jeep YJ for a long time, and that bumper is pretty much what was on there. So tires, I went with some RC four-wheel drive Rock Locks. Pretty good tires. They're, I think, just older versions of, the new Super Swampers now. So nothing too exciting there. The axial 8-hole bead locks. I don't really like the way they look with this body, but this body's going to change anyway. So I have those on there basically to go with the new body that's on order. I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is. You'll just have to wait and see. So, what else here? I will show you some stuff on the inside. It came with a Proline Jeep body on it. So the previous owner had made some modifications to the rear body post there, as you can see. Now it's just tubing on there. It was quite long to accommodate the high roof line of the Jeep. So I cut them back down, used the original sawback body, and now I think I'm going to reverse that and put more of a scale body back on there anyway. So I will have to make new ones myself, so not a big deal. Anyway, inside, I don't know if you guys can see that, I have mounted an axial battery tray in there. The stock, it comes with those goofy little zip ties that I just don't put the first battery in, and that was the end of it. I didn't want to go through that again. So this super simple. I basically drilled in, you can see these holes here. Sorry about that. It's just screwed right here. You're basically screwing into the original battery mount tray. One in the front, one in the back. I did have to modify, I forget if it was the front or the back, for the Velcro straps here for the axial tray. You do have to notch out the plastic battery tray to accommodate these straps. Other than that, it's 2 nuts, 2 bolts, and a little bit of work with a sharp hobby knife, and it's done. And now, to me, these things, quick, easy, it's never going to last. It's never going to break, so no worries there. We also have, I got an RC four-wheel drive rear bumper on here that fits. It is, the chassis is just a tad wider than what this bumper was made for. So again, it does fit, and it's a nice simple bumper. It's not a lot fancier than the front, so I think it looks pretty good on this truck anyway. That was one of the things the previous owner had put on there. Stock shocks, motor. This is what it came with. Cheapy RC four-wheel drive 35 turn. I am planning to switch that out to a Novak 55 turn Rockstar motor. I think that'll probably just suit this Jeep a little bit better anyway. I got a Castle Sidewinder 3 tucked in there. I did actually drill through the plastic engine cover to run the wires through. I didn't want to bend them, almost at 90 degrees right at the top of the ESC. So I punched a couple of holes where they needed to go, run the wires through, and it still looks okay. To me, it's a lot nicer than crimping these wires right at the end. If anything starts to fray or come loose, then you're just going to have issues on the trail, and to me it's not worth the effort. So, it's one of those things. I went with suspension mods here. I'm using the stock medium, or the mid-length spring on top of, these ones are the RC four-wheel drive super soft ones for the Trailfinder 2, the red springs. And the articulation on this thing is now a lot better than when I got it. It was sort of set up, I believe it was the medium setting, with the long one and the medium one zip tied together. I was only getting about an inch of travel. Now I have at least triple that, maybe even more. I will probably do some geeky measurements and some tests one day when I'm bored, but for now, all I know is it's way better and I like it. So we also have RC four-wheel drive, the steel Punisher shafts on there. That was another mod the previous owner put on there. Dynamite, very reasonable priced. They fit great. They look scale on this truck, and I will not complain about those at all. And bolt-on skid plate as well, super nice. It does, these rollers I'm not a huge fan of, and the nylon skid plate I didn't think really worked that well, so this thing on here now will actually slide over rocks and probably works better than the intended purpose of these goofy little wheels. Guys that like those, sorry, that's just my opinion. Don't get upset. And I guess that's about it. I don't know, like I said, I haven't had a lot of trail time with this thing. I may or may not replace those shocks with something else. RC four-wheel drive, maybe some Old Man Emus or something, just because. The only other thing that I might do is, seen a couple of guys put a little O-ring on either side of these shocks here to keep them from moving side to side, which is a good idea. I think there's nothing wrong with this. It just seems like I feel like I'd like to take that slop out of there for whatever reason. Performance-wise, I'm sure it doesn't matter one bit. Servo, that's a high-tech 646 waterproof. I just paint it black so it doesn't stand out. I don't really care to see all that fancy blue stuff on there. And one other thing I was going to mention, and I totally am drawing a blank right now. So apparently that's going to be the end of the video. Like I said, I'm going to take this out on the test track right away and get some footage of this thing, hopefully working that suspension, and we're going to see how she does. Like I said, I'm excited to get this thing out. It's only been in, driving around in the basement on the nice smooth floor, and one or two trips over Laundry Mountain. So now that the laundry's all done, I have nothing left to climb over. So out to the rocks and the logs we go, and I will catch you guys in a few. Hey fellas, well, there you have it. First run, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Is this an SCX-10? Absolutely not. Is it supposed to be? Absolutely not. It is quite fun to drive. I think, what do I think? I think this could go any place a stock XCX-10 could go. That's what I think. I think this requires more skill and finesse probably to get there with the way the suspension is set up with the leaf springs. I think this is more of a, you know, it's got a ton of scale possibilities, this truck. It is fun to drive. I will definitely say that. It does drive a whole lot differently than maybe the typical rig you guys would be used to. Anyone who's in a, you know, anything close to an SCX-10, you know, this is going to be more similar, I guess, to a Glenda or a Trailfinder 2. But yeah, it is fun. It's bouncy, which I actually had used to my advantage sometimes to get over the rocks and stuff. But you know, it's a tough start for this poor little thing. Snow and wet rocks and wet logs are going to be a challenge for any rig. So it did not do too badly, to be quite honest with you. Now, is this my new favorite rig? Nope. But you know what? It's durable. This is something that I'll let my kids drive it, and I will still drive it myself. Yeah, I mean, I certainly would not consider this a replacement for an SCX-10 if that's what you're into, but if you want something different, which was the whole reason why I picked this up, yeah, it's got a big fun factor, this truck. And I would recommend that if you had a couple other rigs to drive as a daily, you know, more of a daily rig, this would be something fun to take out on the weekends anyway, if you're going to compare them like that. So don't be afraid to get one of these. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this truck. It would be nice once there are hopefully some more parts available. You know, the more capable the truck is, I think probably the more fun the average guy will have. So I guess with that being said, I do like this truck a lot. It is not my new favorite, but I will not sell it. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the first look and my first impressions and my first thoughts, not final thoughts, but I will do another update once I get that new body, and we'll get some different terrain going with this truck, probably now, not until the spring, but I will certainly look forward to getting this thing out in some different conditions just to see how it does. Anyway, thanks for watching as usual, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.